play here, 3rd and 15. The Eagles need a big chunk of yardage to keep this drive alive.
It's aggressive.
Burbage went in motion. They had 3 guys to the left. And now it's Penix taking off up the middle, and he has a lot of room to roam. Carter Penix in for the touchdown from 28 yards
It's
out.
time for the LCA Football Coach Oakley Watkins Show. Live from the home of the Eagles in Lexington, Kentucky on the OrthoLinks Sports Network. The Coach Oakley Watkins Show is presented by Justice Broadcast Network and the Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub. Now here's the host of the Coach Oakley Watkins Show, Jason Hunt.
All right, we are back live here, Reynolds Road, home of the Eagles, with Coach Oakley Watkins after another district win on the road at Washington County. You've had some time now to look at the film and think about what happened on Friday. Tell us your initial thoughts on what happened on Friday and what you liked.
Yeah, I was proud of our kids for starting fast. Scored on our first several drives, which was great. That's been something we've been talking a lot about, is just starting fast, because in our games earlier this year, I would say that was one of the biggest things that we needed to focus on. So that was great to see from that group. And then defensively, I thought we really flew around and were better just as a collective tackling team. They run a version of the wing tee, so they're going to run it downhill at you, and it really was a physical game, and I felt like our guys really matched and really exceeded their intensity and physicality, which is pretty cool to see.
How was the scout quarterback going into the game on Friday?
He's probably the most athletic scout quarterback we've seen all year. Was 1 of 2 last week with a touchdown, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 1 of 2, because that's about how many times you're going to throw it in that system. All right. We always talk each week, too, about improvements and what you want to see for the next week. So looking at what you saw on Friday, what can we continue to get better at?
Yeah, and I told our team this on Monday, that one of the things I was most proud of from Friday is we really were, for the most part, penalty-free. The week prior, we had 13 penalties, and a lot of those penalties were just selfish ones, really. I mean, they weren't even within the play. So seeing our guys really answer that challenge for me was pretty cool. Was proud of them for that, because that takes a lot, especially in an environment like that where it was senior night and a lot of people there, and it was kind of unorthodox with the way the game was structured, because they had a longer pregame, they had a longer halftime, and our guys didn't let any of that affect them and really battled through some of that adversity that was thrown their way.
So we have a game on the back end of the district play. So district play's over now. So district championship, that was one of the goals that we talked about early on. So we accomplished that, but we still got to stay focused for one more week before the playoff starts. One of our favorite things to do on the show, though, is to highlight some players. So we got a couple players with us tonight. Tell us who's going to go first.
Yeah, we got wide receiver, defensive back, athlete, Paxton Gray. He's a sophomore for us. Just a absolutely phenomenal young man. Just a joy to be around. And I'll say that he got hurt early in the year, and unfortunately has not been able to play any games this year. But I will say his growth, really from December when our season ended last year until now, has been, I mean, as special from a growth standpoint as I've seen with a young person. He really worked hard on his body to get stronger and faster, but also really became a leader amongst his teammates in the preparations this summer. So it was really neat to see that, and just got an infectious personality. I love coaching, and he's got a storied career that's in front of him. So this injury for him is just a small part of his chapter. So I'm looking forward to seeing him continue to grow.
And then after Paxton, another special guest. Who we got after Paxton?
Yeah, we got senior quarterback number 2, Carter Penix. He's going to be an all-timer for me. He was captain. He's a guy last year that he was behind Saxton as a junior and came every day, made our team better, and he's just a phenomenal leader, phenomenal person. Yeah, waited his turn, which is rare in this day and age, and practiced patience, which is one of the greatest virtues there is, and got hurt in the opener. But he's a guy that has continued to make our team better even in those moments with his leadership. He's actually calling the plays for our first drive this week against PRP. He's designed some awesome plays. It's been really, actually, it was funny. He installed his first play yesterday. and somebody did something he didn't like, and his first thing he did was he did this, and I was like, well, there you go,
yeah,
Carter.
Did he have a whistle on?
Yeah,
He could blow the whistle.
So but I think that speaks to who he is, and we've tried to make sure that this senior year for him, because you only get one senior year, and he worked his tail off, and he's given so much to this program, and I'm better for having coached him, and I'm just really thrilled that he's getting this experience on Friday, and he's going to be a big part of what we're doing in this stretch run. So two great guys. Obviously, both seasons ended early, but I think it's awesome that you're able to highlight both of them because they deserve that.
All right. Well, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with Paxton Gray. All right, we're back here live, Paxton Gray. So in the hot seat now, we're going to talk a little bit about LCA football. You heard what your coach said about you before, and so your season was over before it got started for the most part with an injury. So tell me two things. One, and I ask everybody this, what were your goals coming into the season? What did you work on in the off season to get better at?
Honestly, like learning how to be a receiver, because coming in freshman year, I was a quarterback, and then they moved me at the beginning of the year. So I was kind of learning the new position and how to play it, and obviously getting myself faster and bigger. And then right before the season, it all ended. But I feel like it's helped me as a person. So
yeah, and so most people know that you ended up having basically a season-ending surgery. How has rehab gone, and what's that process been like for you?
It's not been that bad because I've already had 2 surgeries playing football, so I'm used to it. I've had the same surgery on the same shoulder, so I know what it's like and how to go through it. So
Gotcha. And then when you get to push pause and look back, and obviously your goals are going to change different when you're not playing, and what did you want to accomplish after your season's over and you're looking at your team? What did you want to do to contribute to this team?
Just be there for them, cheer them on, and get myself back for next year, obviously, and just make myself the best that I can be. Yeah.
Now, rumor is that you're the second slowest person on the team, especially when you're on the track. Talk to us about that. How did you get the love for running and track and field that you excel at?
Really happened by accident. I just had a coach that told me to run, and then I came to LCA and had 2 great track coaches, and they trained me, and I was like, oh, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And just kept working at it.
Can anybody on the team outrun you?
No. Don't let Sam tell you he can, because he can't.
Because that's what I was going to ask. Because Sam thought early in the season that he may have a chance.
No chance.
And I said it's not his foot that's hurt; it's his shoulder. So I'm not sure you can still outrun him.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Let's step away from football for a second and talk about LCA in general. So when did you come to LCA? You just said when you came. So what grade did you come?
I came in my 8th grade year.
Your 8th grade year. Yeah. And then I ask everyone this: like, just give me a memory or a thought about LCA as a school. Like, what do you think about LCA as a school? Either what's important to you or what you think about most when you think about LCA?
I mean, I just think about the people. The people are great. I love everybody here. It's just everybody's
Do you have a favorite teacher? You can call them out right now.
Favorite teacher?
Yeah, it needs to be this year for some bonus points because they watch.
I'm going to go from last year. I love Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas is my guy.
Awesome. Well, we've been watching you also support your teammates as we go through, but what would you want to leave the fans with? If you say something right now where people are listening, what do you want to say about this season, what they need to do going forward to cheer us on through the playoffs?
I don't know. They'll be fine. Just cheer them on.
So do you have any input on
the season this year?
No, talking to TK and figuring out what the theme is for the student section.
Oh,
Can you get any input on that?
No, I have no input.
Because we need a plan coming into the playoffs. So I'm going to put you on that task, and you need to be in TK's ear. So we don't need to do pink out again.
No, that's
and we don't really need to do any of that stuff. We got to have something new. So I'm putting you on that task.
Okay, sounds
great.
good.
Good job,
sir.
All right, we'll take a short break. Be right back with Carter Penix. All right, we're back here live with Carter Penix. You also heard what your coach said about you. we're sitting here now, and you have a knee brace on your left knee, and it's obviously not what you expected or wanted coming into your senior season. But when we started the show here, your intro now to the show is a rushing touchdown.
He showed me.
And so I think it was 3rd and 15, and we put Jeremiah in motion, and then there's a big running touchdown. And I don't know if you expected that or anyone expected that early in the season. So let's say the same thing. Coming into this season, what did you have in mind, and what did you work on in the offseason? What did you want to accomplish before you came in?
I really wanted to work on speed. Me and Oak joke a lot about it. With Saxon last year, it was all runs, and like inside run period, he would never give me a quarterback run.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to focus on that and gaining weight. I've always been smaller, so just lifting as much as I can every day, going to throw once or twice a week, and just watch film.
Yeah, and then talk about starting the season and putting the uniform on and starting the season. What was your emotions going into the season in the first game?
Oh, I was hyped. I know this team's special. It still is. Like that station scrimmage, it's hard to stop all of us. So I knew we were special. We were dangerous, and on offense, we were gonna have a good year. Yeah,
so. And then unfortunately, a terrible injury. It cuts your season short. And then you've already had a surgery, and you're in the recovery period. I'll ask you the same thing. How's that going?
It's going good.
And when that happened, and you kind of got the news, and obviously coming into your senior season, it's terrible news going in. It's not what you expected, but once the dust settled, what did you want to accomplish for your team after that?
I was devastated at first, but I gave myself 24 hours to be sad about it, be whatever. But then it's to focus to the team and to Nash. He's young, but he's so talented, and I just know I just have to be there for him.
Yeah.
If he has any questions, anything like that, I'll always be here for him. So just really helping the quarterbacks out, any of the young guys that need help with plays or anything like that are new to the offense, I was always there to help them.
I said this to everyone. The senior class that you have, you guys are pretty tight. Like, you guys are a group of guys who are going to give each other a hard time. You're going to be on each other all the time.
Yes.
But as a group, not only after your surgery do they rally and come and see you, or they're going to FaceTime you or do whatever. It's just a really tight group. It's a special group of seniors. And so what would your message be to the classes under you, the junior class, sophomore class, and freshman class? How do they get that same camaraderie?
It's just hang out with each other. Don't be scared at all. Just go hang out, go get something to eat. That's like the group with us after practice. If we don't have any food at home or anything, all of us will go eat. And then you think it'd be 30-minute dinner or whatever. We're there for hours just talking to each other the whole time, just communicating with each other, just having a good time. We make fun of each other, but we all love each other. So it's all good.
Yeah, it's a really tight group. Tell me, you've been on the sidelines each week. Tell me what you've seen as a team for growth. We talked about Nash coming in and stepping into a role they didn't necessarily want to, or, in the situation and becoming the quarterback. What have you seen that's good out of us as we grow through the season?
I think we're all really disciplined. There's not many mistakes, I feel like, so far. But, yeah, we're all disciplined. We're pretty fast, I would say. We got some speed this year. And I think we use that to our advantage.
And if I'm asking you, because everyone who's sat in that chair has unapologetically said we want a state championship here, what do you think we need to do growth-wise over the next several weeks to make that possible as a team?
I just say in playoffs, turnovers, that's the thing. I don't think we've turned the ball over a lot, but that's what kills you, turnovers. I think Beechwood, we had 4. And the year before, we had a lot too. So just make sure we don't do anything to kill ourselves, because that's what we've lost, is just by killing ourselves. So.
Is there any possibility that you could have drawn up some complicated plays that are going to make turnovers be a factor?
No, I don't think so. I think they're pretty simple. Pretty simple. For me, at least, I think so. It'll be good.
And also, I'll go back and ask you the same thing. Talk about LCA as a school and as a family. What does it mean to you?
So I came from Douglas my freshman year, and it's just a whole different thing. It kind of hit me hard at first because I really wanted to focus on making friends before the academics part. But the teachers are serious, but they also love you to death. Like, it's a whole family. You learn so much here that you learn your future, like what you're going to do in your future and stuff like that. So the teachers care about you, and school's so small. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's close with each other. So I just love that part about it.
And you mentioned your future, and obviously you can change your mind, but what do you want to do when everything's said and done, when you're all grown up? What's your dream?
Don't know yet. I mean, my dream would be a college coach. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
At a Division I level, but we'll see.
Awesome. All right. And then what do you want to leave Eagle Nation with as we go forward now? What's your message to them?
Just watch the show. I think we got a special group.
I love it.
It's going to be good.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks.
Appreciate
Good job. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with Coach Oakley Watkins.
Looking for a place where good food, great music, and family fun come together? Come on down to Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub in the heart of the Summit area, Ashland, Kentucky. At Kentucky Bluebird, we're serving up classic Southern comfort food with a smile. From our mouth-watering burgers to our famous chicken and dumplings, there's something on the menu for everyone in the family. But that's not all. We're Ashland's premier live music venue, showcasing the best local artists and rising music stars. Our outdoor stage is the place to be, with toe-tapping performances under the Kentucky stars. Whether you're here for a family dinner, a night of live music, or just to soak up the Bluebird vibe, we've got you covered. Open daily with plenty of parking and a warm welcome waiting. Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub, where good eats meet great beats in Ashland's Summit area. Visit us today or give us a call at 606-585-0800. Also, follow us on Facebook, Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub.
All right, we are back here live after a short commercial there, and now we get to look forward to the end of the season, the regular season. We have PRP coming in. It's a 6A school, and I think we alluded to it last week that they also run some wing tee stuff, and where we're going to see a similar look maybe to what we saw this week. What's preparation been like this week going into PRP?
Well, we had their first 2 games of the year, and they were straight under center wing tee. In their last 2 games, they've been out of the gun, and they've been doing some different things. So they're do some creative things. They've thrown. I mean, last week against St. X, they ran 2 reverses back to back. Got fake punts. They don't like to punt a bunch. So I've told our team like you got to be ready, because it's been a little bit of a transition from what they were and what we expected to see. But when we got the film exchange this weekend, it looked a little different. And they've changed a little bit about what their defensive philosophy is as well. So saw a lot of even stuff, but they've been in some 5 front stuff, which for Carter, it was funny because he'd been watching those 2 tapes leading up to this, knowing this is his moment. Yeah. And he was like, well, it's a little bit different look now. So, but our kids, I mean, it's something for us. We're working different looks anyway, because we know in the playoffs we're going to see different teams with different looks, and so it's kind of a blessing in its own right to be able to see that and have to adjust on the fly. But still, the main details for us are just being efficient with the details of playing fundamental football, which comes down to blocking, tackling, taking care of the football, like Carter said, and I think we're doing those things right now, so excited.
We tried to do some fortune telling last week and look at the RPI and what that may mean for us. I think the picture's a little more clear now. If we take care of business on Friday, what does that mean for us in the playoffs?
I'm smiling because I've told people I'm pretty confident that we're going to be in a position to host.
You're nervously confident, yeah.
But it's also one of those things that you really don't know until about 2 o'clock, early, technically late Friday night, early Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But right now we're in a position playing a 6A team that I think we're going to be able to hold tight and hold firm at that number 2 spot, which would mean we would not have to leave Eagle Valley for anything. No. So, which would be pretty cool.
It's a huge deal for us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's if you could go backwards and say, what do we want to accomplish by switching the schedule for RPI? That's exactly it, right? We want to be able to host playoff games, and it's a big deal for us. And we got a special night coming up. And again, everyone who's listening, it's Thursday night now for senior night. And I don't think you'll ever forget your first year as a head coach in that senior class going into that. So what does that mean to you? What does this senior class mean to you overall?
Yeah, it's been for me already preparing for it, just looking over different things of each kid and each young man. I get emotional about it. And I guess you can say I'm an emotional guy in a way, but
we had some of that come out early in the season, then you've been calm again, so we need a little more for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a special group of guys. I mean, it's 13 seniors, and they all just love each other. I mean, our program mantra is together we win. I think they've set such a great example for their teammates, and tomorrow night we're doing a little senior celebration for practice. It's their last regular season practice, and I think people in our community and program are going to get to see how much these guys mean to each other, and I mean, it's just like right now, coming in here, they're all in there cleaning our locker room, mopping, moving stuff, making sure the locker room is in great shape for everybody and setting that example. Like, it's just what this group means to me is hard to even put into words. They're a special group.
And the same thing, we allude to it well, like to be able to get Carter involved and call some plays and then have him do that, it's also special too. You're going to be smiling the whole time, I'm sure. So getting that action in is important. And as we look forward to PRP, and we're looking this week, and then we're looking at the playoffs where we could potentially be a place where we can host. I ask you this every single week, which is, what do we need to do better? What do we need to get better at as a team? To everyone who's sat in that seat, every player sat in that seat said we won a state championship here. And then did anything change on Friday that you think we need to change as a team, or just keep adding on to what we've done already?
No, I think where we're headed, I think we're headed in a direction to where I think we're going to be playing our best football at the biggest time of the year and most exciting time of the year. I mean, we're still talking about emphasizing those core values, which I think was on display Friday, an improvement in those areas because we were, I thought, penalty-free for the most part, which is a big improvement for us. So just understanding, and that's another thing tomorrow night that we're doing, is understanding the urgency of the situation. Is some teams don't always understand where you're at in the year, but our guys, I think, are locked in. They know what our next goal is, which is to win a region championship, and that's what we're working towards right now. I've told them everything we're doing right now is we got to be a mature football team because we're introducing stuff for the playoffs right now, and that's something that we're getting ready for that. And it takes a mature football team to understand what the big picture is and working to get better every day and still focusing on the next opponent while you're doing all that.
Yeah. Something we haven't talked about on air, but we talked about before is recruiting for high school players is difficult now for people who want to play at the next level. And we have historically a very large group of people who have dreams of playing college football in the senior class. Talk about how important it is to continue to stretch your season, because there can only be one winner each year in each class for the state championship. But talk about how important it is to stretch the season as long as possible to give exposure on big stages for people who are looking to get a scholarship.
Yeah, I think you can look at Mr. Football over the last couple of years, and the Mr. Football winner over the last several years has been playing late into the year. And that's an exposure piece from a media standpoint, just from there. Now, college football recruiting with the transfer portal, and the transfer portal now is in January. It opens up there. They pushed the window back, which I was happy to see that. It's just impacted the high school kids anyway, to where their recruiting is being pushed back, because we've got a lot of guys on this roster right now that we've got some that have offers. We got a lot of guys on this roster that are some of the best players in the state of Kentucky at their positions, but the recruiting now for high school guys doesn't really start until
late,
December or January. Yeah. So all our guys that want to play college football, they're going to find the right home for them. It might not be where it would have been 5-6 years ago, but I'm confident that our guys are going to go play somewhere really, really exciting for them. And I think the 31 guys that are on rosters right now would tell you that. It's like their story. All 31 of those guys had different stories. Now, playing late in the year definitely helps for postseason stuff in terms of accolades and so forth. But and it gives more tape against quality opponents, which I think is something that college coaches are able to identify pretty quickly. But the recruiting piece in its own, it's just been delayed, and that's one thing you try and stress to young people. It's hard to see is they understand it's their high school careers coming down to the wire here, but just telling them, like, look, I promise you,
things are coming.
It's coming, because we've got some, and I mean that when I say we've got some guys that are most talented at their position in the class. And I think a lot of coaches would agree with me on that in terms of being in that upper echelon of players. And just right now, there's not a lot going on.
And I talked to several coaches who it is what it is. That's the current environment. There's not much you can do about it. It's frustrating sometimes when you're trying to put your kids on, because one of the dreams that you'll never put in the background, you always put in the forefront for these kids, is the ability to play at a college level. And so some of the coaches I've talked to are frustrated about the process and how hard it is to get an idea of what's happening during the football season. Sometimes there's some pressure taken away when you get that dream offer, you make that commitment, and then you can kind of play more free through the season. That typically isn't happening for anyone right now at the high school level.
Well, and it's even changed for the high school football coach from a standpoint of you've got to be able now to communicate that change of what it looks like in terms of offers are coming later and opportunities are coming later and later. I mean, Trevor Thomas, you look at him, he made a decision in late April, early May. But the other piece that's made it difficult, more and more difficult on college coaches or high school coaches now is, like I said, we got 31 guys on rosters right now.
Yeah.
Well, there's a transfer portal now.
Yeah.
Well, what transfer portal is now is an extra recruiting window for those guys if they end up getting in the portal. So starting to have conversations with some of our guys about that. It's like, it's just, it's you never would have thought that piece was going to be part of the high school deal. And our guys know I'm always going to be here for them no matter what it is. Yeah. And it's cool to see them chasing their dreams, and I'm going to be here to help them do that if it's on or off the field. But that is another piece too. Like, now you've got your college guys you're trying to help too.
Sure.
Then you got your high school guys as well.
Sure.
But I'm confident out of this 13 that we'll have several that are going to go play next level.
Something I'd always planned on asking you at the end of the district is there anything, and you've been here, we talked about this very early on, you've been at LCA for a long time, but is there anything that surprised you about being the head coach that you were not expecting through this regular season? Anything that you didn't see coming?
To be honest, no.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got asked that question a lot before the year started. It was like, hey, what's different from being a head coach? And I was fortunate, again, that Doug gave me a lot of autonomy, and his mentorship was great.
I need to go back and look how many coin tosses you've won.
We've won a lot.
Versus Doug, and then let's go back, Doug. Let's see who's the best caller of heads and tails.
Oh, that's TK. TK calls it every game. It's always tails never fails. And
yeah.
I think we've
won
lost
quite a few flips. Yeah.
1 or 2 tosses, but I think the piece for me transitioning into this role, and I tell our kids this, is continuing to see, and Doug will tell you the same thing, is continuing to see the school just being so supportive in all ways of the football
we're in a
program.
beautiful facility right now. You look around, you're happy every week when you walk in here. Mm-hmm. You like the smell of this new weight room and performance center. So it is exciting. And it's okay to be different or be extra here at LCA, and we always want to have the best. And so I haven't seen any high emotion stuff late in the season, so I'm waiting for maybe second, third round of the playoffs to see a headset go down or something happens, because you are famous. You're real famous now from Instagram from last week. Every second grader knows you that didn't know you before. And then I also heard that your assistant coach got on it like that and sent it in the group text. As soon as Maddie got it, it was in the group text.
Yeah, well, and I will say this to your point. A lot of our coaches played for me, and somebody asked them this last week, actually, said, what's the difference between Coach Oak as a offense coordinator and head coach? And they're like, to be honest, I just hear him getting on officials more, and I'm like, that's
not what I want to hear.
But it's
you said your mom liked it though. She liked it.
My mom likes the fire piece. That's it. My mom, love my mom. But it's I think that's the biggest piece that I just didn't expect is like being an offense coordinator role. You don't have to have those conversations. Sure. So now it's like. Yeah. I think everybody thinks a conversation with official every time is a negative one, which it's not always the case.
It sometimes can be strategic. You're working the game. You want the next call, even if you miss that call. And so, and you're doing that very well. What do you want to say about this week to the fans and everybody else like we do at the end of the week? Probably the same thing. Come and see us. Keep supporting us. What else you got?
Well, it's senior week this week, senior night. We made it a big deal this week for our guys. The game moved to Thursday, which – that was intentional because it was going to be able to get more people out for the game with it not being on Halloween anymore. So these 13 seniors, there's not a group that deserves a special senior night more than this one. And we've had, I say that about every senior class every year. You're like, how do you replace this group? And then you have another special one every year. But they're just awesome. And I want them to have a memorable one. And having a great crowd is a big part of that. So please get out and support those guys, and then you can go trick-or-treat the next night.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys on Thursday night, and then we'll be back here the week after, hopefully celebrating a big win.
You've been watching the LCA Football Coach Oakley Watkins Show here on the OrthoLinks Sports Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the OrthoLinks Sports Network YouTube channel so you never miss a show. Thank you to our sponsors, and until next week, go Eagles.